all right. This is the Virtuous Rose coming at you. I got another thought for the day, and so I'm just gonna jump right into it. The thought is, what is the wealthiest place in the world? Hmm. Okay. Question for you: have you ever been doing something or going somewhere, and a thought came across your mind that made you stop in your tracks and think about it? Hmm. This may not have happened to you, but take a listen. So one day, me and my mother was traveling to pick up my son from college, and we were on the road for a while. And so she asked me something that was very strange, interesting, and yet very inspiring to me. And so here's what she said. She says, Rose, do you know where the richest or wealthiest place in the world is? So at first I said, of course, I looked at her and I was extremely puzzled because I'm thinking, all right, how about Russia? How about England? How about Italy? All those places like that. I was just throwing out some names and places, and the foreign countries were just coming, and I just knew I had the right answer out of one of the two of them, or what have you. And then she kind of laughed at me and she says, sorry, baby, no, that's not the right answer. And so I was taken back for a minute. Now, you got to understand, my mother, she's in heaven now, but she was funny, kind, um, just inspirational lady. She's a person that was strong, she was wise, she was full of love. And since she was full of all that, I kind of thought, well, she's not going to trick me or embarrass me. So I think I would be okay with answering yet again. And so I tried again. And she says, no, that's not the right answer. And she just kind of chuckled a little bit. Now, keep in mind, I had a college graduate degree, and I thought I was quite smart, intelligent, witty. And I didn't think nothing of it. I just kind of thought that I knew the answer. And so she let me know that little did I know that I was neither answering the question correctly, neither did I have the thought process for that answer. So I says, okay, well, what is the answer then? And I said to her, you got to tell me the answer because you got me wondering now. You've got me intrigued now. You've got me trying to figure out what's going on. So she began to answer the question. But I'm not going to answer the question yet to you. I'm going to think about it and let you think about it. And I'm going to ask you another question. So before I go answering that question, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to turn your Bibles to Habakkuk, which is in the Old Testament books of the Bible. It's the chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. Okay? Now, this is what it reads. It reads, and the Lord answered me, which was Habakkuk, and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Then I thought, wow, write the vision, make it plain, so who reads it can run with it and be successful and endure those things of life that God has put into your life to accomplish. Those goals, those ideas, those creations, those objects, those innovative things that's going on in your mind. Write the vision. Okay, so I thought about it. And so today my goal is to encourage you, to inspire you, to ignite and motivate and empower you in seeing your internal engine motivator, your internal energy motivator, your internal perspective motivator that's existing and living in you today. So, what am I talking about? Well, let me just go back to the scripture. The scripture in Habakkuk talks about a vision. It gives specific directions on how to get and to receive an answer from the Lord as it relates to your vision. Have you asked the Lord about a vision and what he sees in your life and how he finds that your life is going to end? Have you ever wondered, why are you here? Have you ever asked the purpose of your life? Well, I can tell you this, the vision will give you those answers. So let's move on. So what is writing a vision consist of? What does that consist of? Well, I'm glad you asked. Writing a vision is nothing more than getting a large cardboard piece of paper or something and thinking about all the things that you would like to do, all the things that you've aspired to do, all the things that you have done, all the things that you plan to do, and just putting it on paper. And just put it on paper. So, how do you do that? Well, before you do that, I just want to take a moment to step back and identify a couple of things. Now, there's two things I like to identify as it relates to your vision. First, your perspective, and then your perception. All right, so your perspective is very different from your perception, pardon me. Let's take a moment to look at the two words. Your perspective relates to your sight, and it deals with your point of view. Now, your perception relates to your knowledge, and it deals with the concept of what you are viewing. Now, here is your challenge. Okay. Your challenge is, once you've thought about that vision board, once you've put it in your mind that you're going to do it, this is what I'd like for you to consider doing. Find some magazines around the house. Find some pictures around the house. Take a look at them. Think about them. And see how they could be used to help you formulate your vision board. See how they can be used to help you design your vision board. It may take a few minutes. It might take a few hours. But who cares? This is about you. This is about your success in life. So you're worth it, I believe. Okay. So now this vision board is going to identify your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your accomplishments, your things that you inspire to do, and the other things that you might even not thought about doing, but it's in you. It's in you. So go ahead and assemble that vision, okay, and that vision board. Go ahead and find those pictures. Go ahead and look through that magazine and find those magazine pictures that is going to help you with designing your vision board. Then, when you have thought about it and you found all your pictures and things that you want to include on your board, then just lay the board down, place all of the pictures down in a certain area on the board that you want, and then just see it unfold. Just see all of the blessings, all of the ideas, see all of the innovative, creative things that God has put into your heart and your mind. Just see them placed on that board. Then go ahead and look at it and glue it. Put it in place. Make it stable. Because once you glue it on the paper, but you also gluing it in your mind. So it will continue to be a part of your mind so you can see it and you can dwell on it. Then I suggest that you take that board and you put it in your place in your home that is going to be visible for you. It could be on display. It could be anywhere in your home. Put it there just so you can be able to see it time after time after time after time. Leave it there. Look at the things that you have on it. Add some things to it. As you accomplish the other things that's on it, take those off, add some more on. The vision board is a continual living object that continues to prevail, and it continues to grow, as you unveil the things that God has put inside of you. So let it grow on you. Yeah, it'll grow on you. I promise you, once you get done with this, you're going to be like, I didn't realize there was so much stuff in me, God. I didn't know it was so much stuff that I need to do and that I can do and that I should be doing. Did you know that we only spend about 7, 8, 9% of our brain power on doing things that is creative, productive, instructive, and so and so? So the question is, what happens to the other 97% of the brain power? Could it be spent on vain items such as worries, frivolous things, just vanity? Yeah. So let's change that. Okay, I challenge you to do a vision board. I've done mine, and if you want to see it, why don't you just hit me up? I'll share it with you. All right, moving on. So once you've decided that this vision board is very much a part of what you're going to do, I tell you this, it's going to blow your mind, literally blow your mind. Try it, and I believe that it's going to challenge you to seek out the things that God has placed into you. And I want you to list them on your board, and I want you to take a look at them. Okay? It might be a little intimidating, it might be a little challenging, but that's okay. You up for the challenge. Matter of fact, God made you for the challenge, so go for it. All right, now take a moment just to take a look at the different things around your home, the magazines, the pictures, what have you. Put your vision board together and let me see what it looks like. I can't wait to see it. Okay, now getting back to the question that my mother asked me. What in the world is the richest or wealthiest place in the world? Well, let me go and say this. She told me that the richest place in the world is something that I had never thought about. So here we go. We're traveling up the road, going to get my son from college, and she says, what is the richest, wealthiest place in the world? And then I'm wrong on my answers. So then I happened to be stopped at a traffic light, the light was red. And she says, well, since those places that you mentioned were not the places that I had in mind, she said, take a look over to your left. Just glance to your left and take a look and see what you see. Well, I was stopped at the stoplight so I could take my eyes off the road just a little. So I looked, and I tell you, when I looked and gazed over there for a half of a second, I was amazed. I was totally shocked. You're not going to believe it. Trust me, you're not going to believe it. But she showed me, and she told me that the richest place and the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. Yeah. Let's take and sit back on that one for a minute. The graveyard. I looked at her like, are you serious? How do you say that? There's nothing valuable in there. There's nothing wealthy in there. There's nothing rich in there. How do you say that? She said, well, that is the richest place in the world because she said, I guarantee you 70 or 80% of those individuals that died and are buried in that location died with their dreams, their talents, their gifts, their abilities, their skills, their innovations, their ideas, everything. She said they died with them inside them. She said maybe not all of them, but she said I guarantee you that most of them died with this stuff inside of them. And then she challenged me. Yes, my mother challenged me. She says, and I ask you today to not let that happen to you. She said, so all of the great blessings that God has given to you, all of the wonderful ideas that he's bestowed upon you. She said, I challenge you not to allow God to take you from this space of world and earth and those things be left in you. She says, die empty. Well, I thought I was grown up, but I don't think I was grown up enough for that statement. So I had to grow up real quick. And I really was speechless. My heart was in my throat. I wasn't able to say much. And so all I said was, yes, ma'am. Then she continued to say, now, since you know that the richest place in the world is the graveyard, what are you going to do about it? I said, oh, God, I'm going to do my best. I said, I'm going to do my best to make sure that I complete everything that the Lord has given to me to complete, because he said, greater works shall I have to do. And he said that I should do those and I must complete those. So this is my challenge to you. Go on, complete that vision board. Make it happen. Because I've said so much, I'm totally sure that this thought that I'm providing for you and sharing with you now has given you insight. It has given you motivation. It has given you knowledge. It has strengthened you. It's given you wealth. It has even given you some levels of peace, because you might have thought there was a whole lot of things that you wanted to do but can't do them. God said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians 4:13. And so that's the statement that I leave with you, along with a few more. So here we go. All right. Know that God has not given you the spirit of fear, but he has given you the spirit of love, of power, and a sound mind. according to Romans 8 and 31. Also know that God has a plan for you that is of good and not evil to give you an expected end. And that's Jeremiah 29:11. So your next thing that you need to do is just make up in your mind, darling, that you're going to do this vision board. Make up in your mind you're going to complete all the divine assignments that God has enriched you with from heaven above, and you just do it, okay? Just do it. Especially now that you know that the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And we all must go there one day. However, today not the day, prayerfully. And we still got time to get some things done. So let's do this. I challenge you to challenge yourself to, before the Lord takes you from this earth, to accomplish all that your vision board has on it and then some. And then basically die empty. Okay? Yeah, I said it, die empty. There has been a lot of things that you had to spiritually digest today in this segment of message today. But I just want you to be encouraged to know that you're not alone. You can do this. It's going to be a little bit challenging. It's going to be a little frustrating. It's going to be a little overwhelming. It even may be a little agitating at times. But I can guarantee if you continue to push through and do it, it will be a reward on the other end. So now I'm about to go because my time is up. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to like me, share me, and I'd like for you to subscribe to me and also hit the little bell for notifications so you can get some more video notifications when the Virtuous Rose is on video again. She enjoys being with you, and she just wants you to drop her a note or comment or something just to say how you was thinking about this vision board and how this vision board inspired you, motivated you, energized you, got your internal energies and thoughts going. Just how did it get you started? How did it motivate you? I just want to know. Yeah, let me know. And if you want to see my vision board, I got it. It's ready. Just hit me up. Let me know. All right, till next time. Bye.